Good evening, Doctor. My name is Nushara Fazrumeti Mazlan, and I'll be presenting on my topic automatic emotion detection, recognition, and analysis. First things first, let's go through the table of contents where chapter 1, introduction, chapter 2 is literature review, and chapter 3 finally is the research methodology. Chapter 1. The background of the study shows that human face portrays a huge role for automatic recognition of emotions in the field of identification of human emotions. There are six basic categories which are known as happiness, surprise, sadness, fear, anger, and as well as disgust. Another emotion that can be added on is the neutral emotion. The interaction between human and computer is used in actual applications like personalized learning, health monitoring, and even criminal identification. To detect and perform any image recognition, the necessary steps must be conducted, such as face detection, feature extraction, and sometimes occasionally a feature selection, and finally the classification of emotions. There are two methods known as traditional machine learning method and the deep learning method, which is a lot more simplified. Machine learning application in emotion detection and recognition consists in the traditional machine learning method that consists several famous uh, models that has been used in the traditional method where random forest, decision tree, and as well as a support vector machine are usually used. As for the deep learning method, ANN and CNN are popular mostly in the field of face recognition or any image recognition. Next is the research problem. There are several limitations in the existing traditional method algorithms in facial detection that needs to be addressed. For example, by investigating the differences in the traditional face detection method with the deep learning method, where the response time achieved using the traditional hard cascade method was 2000 milliseconds. Interestingly enough, compared to another similar setting, the response time was faster using the NCCNN method conducted by Bhattacharya 2018. Second is there is a lack of experiment on the different types of combination in order to achieve a high accuracy rate. For example, a study obtained an accuracy of 90.97% for the sequence of Adabus as the face detection and CNN as the main classifier, conducted by Hung et al. 2019. Meanwhile, another study with the same classifier but different face detection method achieved an accuracy higher than the study before, which is by 8%. Note that the two literature above uses the same source of dataset. For the research objective, to identify the limitations of existing emotion detection methods from the existing traditional machine learning algorithm. Second is to develop an emotion detection and recognition system using the proposed algorithm based on deep learning methods for performance improvement. And finally, to evaluate and compare the performance of existing algorithms with the developed emotion detection and recognition. As for the research question, what are the limitations of the existing emotion detection method from the existing traditional machine learning algorithm? How to develop an emotion detection and recognition system using the proposed combination of for performance improvement? And what is the best algorithm combination in order to achieve a high accuracy and performance compared to existing algorithms? Literature review. The overview for this study is that we have observed the number of publications that has been done on facial expression recognition for both traditional and deep learning methods. As we can see in the graph above, traditional method in facial expression recognition study is more common compared to the utilization of deep learning method in early decade, which is from 2010 to 2015. And slowly in 2013, Costello has mentioned that facial expression recognition challenge was introduced to the public and many competitors were invited to implement the best system. This is where the deep learning study has been slowly increasing over the years in image recognition. Comparisons of image recognition techniques. I have divided it into two parts, which is traditional method and deep learning method. For the traditional method, I've emphasized SDM, RF, and DT as the classifier, and ANN and CNN as the classifier. From the three different classifiers that I've seen, several authors have done on SDM using different face detection methods and different feature extraction methods. For RF, there's also the face detection method and feature extraction method is also very different from each other. From the accuracy, we can observe that they can only achieve accuracy of below 90%. Meanwhile, as we can see from deep learning method, ANN uses a face detection method, a different face detection method, which is hard cascade, Gabor feature extraction, and they also apply a feature extraction on Sobel horizontal and Gabor wavelet filter. And the result, we can see that they have achieved 95% accuracy on only happy and surprised emotion. As for the anger set here discussed emotions, they only achieve 84 to 86% of range due to overlapping of the facial expression. CNN, we can for the CNN classifier, we can observe that both of the study have achieved accuracy of 90% and above. With just using an ADA boost face detection, but no feature extraction as it is also a part of CNN. And for another study, they have conducted without the they have face detection, but they didn't state it. So this is very interesting where we will also want to try on different algorithms for face detection. This is where our interest has uh, uh, sprouted. The three well-known facial expression databases are mostly used in the studies before, which are Japanese female facial expression, JFFE, Karolinska Directed Emotional Faces, KDEF, Konkanade, as you can see from the slide here, are the examples of the images, the facial images. And the number one mostly used database is the JAFFE due to its very clear image, frontal position camera, and as well as it is in grayscale. It contains 7 basic facial expression, which are happy, surprised, sad, disgust, anger, fear, and neutral. Same as for the others, but they have a mixed color of a colored mode, and as well as for the other one, it has mixed color, which is grayscale, and as well as colored images. Uh, Next is evaluation methods. Most of the studies conducted use evaluation metrics, which are the confusion metric, accuracy study, and the AUC. For my conceptual framework, this is the entire process that I will be using for my study, where start with a problem identification, emotion recognition system theory, where we are talking right now about it right now, development of emotion recognition system, and moving on to the analysis of evaluation. Next is the research methodology. Here we can see the background and problem statement. Moving on to the data set selection, as we have already seen before. The pre-processing and images using MCCNN and deep learning modeling is where we will see on my proposed method. Here is the workflow we can see. And moving on to the model evaluation compared with existing results. Next is where I will explain in further details. Background and problem, including the research problem statement, as we have already talked before. We've seen before. This research attempts to evaluate accuracy and performance of the proposed method using anti-CNN and the CNN to compare to other existing findings. The collection of the dataset is the JAFFE, where the dataset needs to be requested from the creator for valid reasons. Pre-processing of the GAFE dataset is done by doing the NCCNN for face detection and cropping of the face region. The stage one is the PNet, where the candidate windows are produced through a fast proposal network, short for PNet. Next is the refining the candidate windows in the next stage through a refinement. Produces final bounding box and facial landmarks position, as you can see the example here. Next is the classification of images is done by implementing the CNN MobileNet V2 architecture. Um, so this is where the NTCNN has been done. Moving on to feeding it to the classification method, which I have chosen, which is the MobileNet V2. So for the MobileNet V2, I will be applying some tuning on the hyperparameters. This is to constrain the size of the representation. This is due to the GAFE dataset. The pictures are quite small, so this is to modify the last convolutional layer, the parameter tuning, and repeating the model to improve the results. For the model evaluation, assessment of the results, I will be using accuracy, recognition accuracy, confusion metrics, and as well as area under the curve. I will be performing it using Jupyter Lab and as well as Orange for the visualization. Parameter tuning and repeat modeling will be done to improve the results. Summary. Finally, the significance of the research is that the application of the machine learning and deep learning are both crucial in the study of detection and recognition of human emotion. Thus, the study will complement and contribute to the current literature on the following. The research being conducted introduces to a new combination of algorithms from the many brilliant models that are available. Identification of selection of algorithms will show the model's merits and reliability to be utilized in future studies. An expected outcome is that a new improved combination of automatic emotion detection and recognition system, which is of high accuracy and performance based on the proposed method, MTCNN, and the face detection method, and the which is the CNN MobileNet V2 as the classifier. That is about it for my presentation. These are the reference lists. Thank you.